Grid bots will perform as good as the settings that you give them on current market conditions. But what if there's a way to find the best settings for every single bot you decide to open? Well, that's what this video is all about. So you will see how many grids you need, what price would you set on the lowest price and the higher price to then draw up the grids, how much you need to invest, and what about other features such as trailing, stop loss, or take profit. And if you stay until the end, you will see how you can get your own grid bot template, and this file will help you selecting pairs, starting the bot at the right time, allocating capital, but also will help you with the settings. So it will provide you a baseline that you can use if you are using that same exact capital, and it will tell you how you can change the settings and what are the recommendations for each value for a specific setting. So stay tuned if you would like to check that out. Hi, I'm Hugo from awaketech.com, and in this video I'm going to help you with your crypto grid bot settings. In previous videos I have already told you how you can find the best pairs for your grid bots and also when to start bots with those pairs. You can do all of these steps right, but without proper settings the bot setup won't work or you won't get the results that you were expecting. This is one of the core missing pieces that you don't want to skip on, so bear with me. So let's start with investment, which is the amount of the coin that you want to invest for a specific bot. In this case I refer to a bot as a specific automation that is running on a crypto pair which has 2 coins, and the investment amount is usually represented by the second coin on your pair, so it's the second ticker symbol after the dash on the pair. This can be BTC, USDT, BUSD, but stable coins are fairly common. For example, if you have BTC-USDT, then USDT would be the investment amount that you are putting in, and you will earn the profits in that second ticker, in this case USDT. The minimum amount recommended for a bot is usually around 3000 USDT. But if you don't have that, you can still, of course, start a bot, although the settings might be a little bit different. Always leave out some of your total balance available. For example, you can leave out 20% of the whole amount that you have on your crypto exchange account, and you can use those 20% as a reserve. So for example, if the price drops 2 times in a row and you end up with 2 bots that are profitable, you can use the reserve amount and then make it back much faster, plus earn more on the way up. Now let's cover the prices. So the high price is the highest number or the top order, so this means that it will be where your last sell order would be executed, and you can easily spot that level on Bitsgap, which will be at the top, and it will be the limit for the red zone, which represents your sell orders and are of course the higher half of your grids that are represented in the chart. To get the exact value of the high price, you will use the ruler tool, which you can find at the left. There will be a column with a lot of different tools. There's one with a ruler, so you click on that and then you will measure 20% up from the current market price. If you then release the ruler, you will be able to see the exact price on the bar at the right, which contains all the prices. Prices highlighted in blue are what you are looking for, or gray without the selection. You can then enter the price on the high price field, and that's it. You have your limit for the sell orders, which is pretty much where the last sell order will be executed. As for the low price, the process is very similar, but in this case you'll measure 30% down from the current market price with the ruler tool, and then you can enter that price on on the lower or low price field at the right. Now we will have to configure the grids, and the number of grids will impact how many orders the bot will open and also how many trades it will make. It will depend on other values you give the bot. So for example, if you increase your price or decrease it, but also if you have a bigger amount invested or smaller one, because you will be able to use less grids. On a limited budget, you might not be able to max out the grids, but that doesn't mean that the bot can't still run and make profits. It all depends on how volatile a certain pair is, and that means that if it's less volatile, it might end up not eating the lines or the grids, which means that you will make less profits from that volatility. But if you have just enough grids so that the price keeps bouncing between them, but they are still not all that you could have, you will still make profits. However, of course, if the market would not be that volatile, you would have a little bit more of security, since you would still make profits from very small moves. The recommended number of grids is usually 90 up to 140, but you can also take the preset Bitsgap settings as a starting point to then tweak to your own settings. For very low investments, you should try to not go lower than 25 or 30 grids. For more than 30 grids, use the max number of grids available if you can, or you can choose your own based on backtesting results. Grid step is the setting that you will change if you want to increase or decrease the space between grids, making it larger or smaller. And if you play around with the values, you will notice the difference right away in the chart. The recommendation is to keep it at 0.5%, but if you have other settings, such as the investment amount being higher or lower, or the number of grids won't allow it, then you can use other values. As said, for the other settings, if you are using Bitsgap, the great thing about it is that they will recommend pretty good base settings that you can then tweak by yourself, whereas with other bots sometimes they won't provide you pretty good settings because they don't use backtesting to apply them. Now, depending on the bot that you are using, you'll have multiple options for trailing, and trailing simply means that you can follow the price up or down a bit instead of closing your bot if a certain price is reached. So you will have a little bit of room to make more profits or buy in places where the price would have been a little bit lower, yet you didn't want to sell out yet. So trailing up will follow the price by moving the grid up when the market price increases, and you can use this if you want, but it is not a requirement for the strategy that we are using, and if you want to follow it, it is on the template. As for trailing down, it will follow the price by moving the grids down when the price market decreases. We won't be using trailing down for this specific case. However, trailing up would be a possibility, but you don't need to use it if you want precise values for your grids, meaning that if your price goes above the grid and then you won't be selling anymore, you can close that bot and start a new one so that you reach and trade on a new grid level or on a new sideways channel. And the exact same thing can happen when the price goes down. You can still open a new bot on a new sideways channel and then make profits that way, and it is a little bit more precise. But of course, trailing options will give you a little bit more of room, and that's nice if you know how to use them. You also have take profit, and by using take profit, you can close your bot after reaching a certain target. So let's say that you want to close it automatically after making the 20% or after a 20% price increase. So this will mean that the bot will close after that price level is surpassed. It does not mean that will necessarily close when you do 20% of profits, because you might still make profits from volatility and you have not yet reached the maximum price that was on the high price parameter. So you can still trade that way, and if you want to close the bot after 20% increase in price, which is fairly reasonable, then you can use the take profit option. If you do so, then you won't see capital gains for more than 20%. In our specific strategy, we don't rely on it, but you can can set it up so that the bot closes after hitting the high price. Stop loss is not a crucial point of our strategy because we want to wait some time after it reaches the lowest price possible. So if it is out of range because the price went below our grid levels or our grid area, we want to wait a bit instead, because while we are waiting, the price can still go up, there can be a reversal, and so if you are canceling instantly, you might be making some unnecessary moves. So what you want to do is to actually wait a bit. You want to wait a bit because the coin might bounce back and you might miss out on a lot of profits. But it is different if you are optimizing or creating a new strategy for yourself. In that case, you might want to use the stop loss and take profit for quick scalping or scalp profits. Or of course, you could also use the scalping bot, which is also available on Bitsgap, but only for Qcoin at the moment. If the bot gets out of range due to a big decrease in price, we will wait a week, and then if it's still out of range, we will regrid the bot. And this simply means that we will close the existing bot that's out of range, meaning that it is no longer trading, and open a new one with similar settings but different price levels to pretty much follow with the decrease in price, so that if it bounces up again, you will still make profits from volatility, and when it comes to the level that it was before on the first bot that you've launched and then became unprofitable, you will have already recovered the amount that you've lost, plus you will already be making extra profits, both from the volatility plus the price increase. If you want a video explaining or a follow-up to that, please do let me know in the comment section down below. On the description, you can find a link to download the grid bot template to help you organize and execute your strategy. For this video, you can check the settings page, which will have all of the settings or a baseline for settings that you can use, especially if you have that same investment amount. Otherwise, it will have some notes there in each one of the parameters so that you know what you would put there if you have a different amount. Let me know if you did try it out after watching the video. Let me know how your bots are performing, and if I left something out, leave your like if you enjoyed the video. In the next video, I will show you what to do if a bot goes out of range and when to close it. So subscribe and turn on the bell icon if you want to get notified. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.